There are certain things within the sales process that I refer to as climatic points. Climatic points are things that bring your client to a climatic state. A climatic state, for those of you who don't really understand that, climatic state is where their senses and their emotions are at a high, at a very positive height. So a climatic experience could be for your prospect, understanding that their appraised value came in 40 grand higher than they thought, right? They feel good about that.
Connected to SalesRemastered.
So today I had a meeting with some of our loan agents and we talked about 3 core topics. The very first topics were how to attract 5 to 8 new loans or extra loans every single month. And there's 2 ways to attract 5 to extra units per month, and you have to really think about it. Like, what would that do to my income? What would that do to my paycheck if I funded an extra 5 to 8 units? And you guys know your commission rips, you can understand and do the quick math. But for the junior agents, how it applied to them was that there are certain things within the sales process that I refer to as climatic points. Climatic points are things that bring your client to a climatic state. A climatic state, for those of you who don't really understand that, climatic state is where their senses and their emotions are at a high, at a very positive height. So a climatic experience could be for your prospect, understanding that their appraised value came in 40 grand higher than they thought, right? They feel good about that. Another climatic experience could be that they're approved to go to docs. And so this means that they're done. It's very happy. Another climatic state would be that they're loan funded. And so I'm gonna allow you to use your creativity on know when to implant these. But when you reach these climatic points, even if you're a new loan officer, these are prime times to ask for a referral. Because when you deliver good news, it's human nature to want to reciprocate the favor. So if you called your client and said, hey, I got great news, Jim. You know, I know we estimated 430,000 on your appraised value. Your property came in at 480. Man, your area is doing awesome. I want to congratulate you because you had $50,000 extra in equity that you didn't even know about. Again, I'm now positioning them in climatic state, right? And say, hey, Jim, because your property value is doing so good, talk to your neighbors. If you know anyone else that wants to learn about how to use their equity to their advantage or position them properly for financial well-being, have them call me. And you have to add this disclaimer because the reason why a lot of people don't refer is because they're fearful that you're going to tell them that they got a 530 FICO, that you're going to tell them that they wanted to, you know, that they're living check to check and then they need to consolidate 30 grand in credit card debt. So what I like to say is that, you know, our relationship is much like an attorney relationship, meaning we have an attorney, like you would have an attorney privilege. There's something called the loan consultant privilege, meaning I am not able to share any of your information, so it's all confidential. As a matter of fact, it would be illegal if I shared any of your personal information. It would actually cancel out my license. And all that does is just give them assurance that you're not going to say to their neighbor that they're living check to check and they have a late payment on their mortgage. Another way would be like when the loan is finally done. So when the loan is finally done, you know, sometimes we just forward it over an email because we have 109 different things to do, right? And so like, hey, you're clear for docs, when can the notary contact you? But that's leaving money on the table because you have to understand that these people have been waiting in process for about a good 6 weeks. So to deliver the message in a different way, such as, hey, Jim, I got to talk to you. Hey, Jim, I appreciate you taking the time. Hey, remember when we talked about, you know, creating the cash flow, giving you consolidation, helping you rebuild your credit, helping you replenish your FICO score, your bank account, and putting you on track to pay this house off sooner? It's finally going to become realized. We have now been approved to actually go to documents, so we're going to put everything in writing, right? And so that brings them again to the climatic state and say, hey, you know what? I'm so happy for you because we're finally able to kickstart this new terms. You're not going to have a payment the next month. You're going to get an escrow refund. You're going to get a lot of cash just in time for the holidays. I'm super excited for you. Hey, I was curious, do you know anyone else who would like these type of benefits, who could use some financial advice that I was able to provide for you? Again, we have a confidential relationship, so I can never share what you did. I can never share anything about your transaction. but my goal is to help other homeowners within your community. So if you know anyone, please have them call me, and it's very simple. I can give them the same exact information. The reason why that's worth putting that extra 2 minutes in is because that's going to yield you more contacts. And the easiest deals to flip are referrals, because these people are already they have this rapport that's already embedded in. So if their neighbor worked with you, they're comfortable to working with you. Get it? And that can pick you up an extra couple deals, if not every week, every month.